For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Hannah Radke is suing Jackson Garcia in the amount of $415. Ms. Radke claims Mr. Garcia lost his temper and punched a hole in her wall when she ended their relationship and says he owes for the damage.
Okay, Ms. Radke, you are suing your former boyfriend for $415. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay, go ahead.
So, yeah, as you said, I'm suing my ex because I basically tried to break up with him, and during that conversation, he got really emotional and he punched a hole in my wall, and I'm suing for damages for the hole in my wall. And we've been seeing each other for about like 8 years. And
that's a long time.
Yeah, and about 5 years ago, we took like a break. And during that time, he got another woman pregnant. And so we've been having issues with like him spending time with the son and the mother of the child. And he's
What are the issues that you're having that he's spending time with his son?
I'm not having
the son, but his son.
His son.
If I may interject, Your Honor, she's basically making me choose either my son or her.
I'm not making him choose. I'm just saying that I would like for him to give like the same time and commitment to our 8-year relationship that he's giving to his son and also her, because like he was like late. Even the day I was trying to break up with him, he was late. He didn't even text me that he was going to be late. And it's just been this kind of thing over and over again. And it's just been downhill from there. He just doesn't really give me
So what I'm gathering is you don't like the fact that he has a son.
I'm okay with that. And he came to me and he said that. And I decided to work through it with him. My issue is like we didn't meet for like a whole week, basically. And because he was like also spending time with them, but
the thing is, you're okay with him being a father, or you're not. You can't go back and forth.
I'm
if you
okay
understood that he's going to be a father, if you broke up, he's a father, and you took him back, you understand the relationship's never going to be the same again because he now has an obligation to a child.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not going to come first.
Right, and I am aware of that. But I've been trying to have this conversation with him because I'm aware that.
But you're bothered by the fact that he spends time with his child. I'm confused.
Not bothered by the fact he spends time with the child. I'm bothered that he's spending so much time with the baby's mother.
Okay. So how do you know he's spending time with the baby's mother and not the child? How old is your son?
He is 5 now. And
5 now.
Anytime I see my son, it is with his mother.
Why do you have to see your son with his mother? Why?
It's not necessarily.
You have custody, in a custody agreement?
No, it's just the mother and I were not. It was a one-night stand that happened. So right now we're just trying to create this kind of pseudo-family structure for my son because he deserves the best life.
I see.
And so I
you
try
guys
to
go
be
out
there.
on a family together.
Yeah,
do
and
stuff?
kind of give the semblance of that we're a happy family, just to because he deserves the best. It's not.
No,
his
I understand,
fault.
but he's 5. He doesn't understand that you're not together. So is it clear to him that you live somewhere else and mommy lives somewhere? Obviously, he lives with his mom, so he knows you don't live there.
He hasn't asked those questions yet because originally.
But he knows you don't live with him, obviously. Okay. So do you ever have time to spend time with him alone? Like, can you take him on your own?
There have been some times where I was able to pick him up and take him to the park or to the beach or anywhere.
Just have your own one-on-one time.
And just a one-on-one time.
So that's okay. She's okay with that. All right.
That's usually fine.
Do you have feelings for his mother?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. And have you told your ex-girlfriend this?
Yes, she knows I don't have feelings for her, but there is some animosity there. She doesn't like my son's mom, and my son's mom does not like her either.
So what happened on this day where you broke or you punched a hole in the wall?
So I was at work all day, and my son, where his mom lives, is near the firm I work at. and I went to go see him after. I knew we had a date planned for that night at 7 o'clock. So I was hanging out with my son, just kind of doing everything, putting him to bed. He was being a little fussy, so I ran over the time, and by the time I got to her house, I was 30 minutes late. Got there, I said, hey, I'm sorry, my son's being fussy, gave her a hug, and then I went and sat on the couch. And that's when, not even 2 seconds of me sitting on the couch, she came in and just started braiding me.
Coming up on Justice for All.
But I was telling him, we need to talk about this.
But he wants to leave, so why don't you just let him leave?
I mean, I think he could have left if he wanted to leave.
And later,
we went out that weekend to Vegas and had a lot of fun. Came home. Turns out that I didn't actually have any of that money that I gambled.
So then what money did you use to gamble? Credit cards?
I used money that I already had in my savings account.
Oh.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Hannah Radke, who is suing Jackson Garcia for property damage.
Every argument we have about it, and the reason I avoid it is because it always boils down to, it's either me or your son, which it's not fair to my son, for me to choose between them, I was just not in the mood to talk, and she kept pushing. I was like, can we please drop it? I'm not in the mood right now. Stop, can you please? And then I was just like, I'm just gonna go, because this is just not going anywhere, and we're just gonna keep fighting all night. So as soon as I get up, she rushes to the door and just starts blocking it. And I was like,
Why would you block the door?
I wasn't blocking the door. When I got up from the couch, I was closest to the door. But I was telling him, we need to talk about this.
But he wants to leave, so why don't you just let him leave?
I mean, I think he could have left if he wanted to leave.
But he said he couldn't leave because you were blocking the door.
Well, that's his opinion of it. He definitely
so
could have left.
why didn't you leave then?
because she was blocking the door. She's like, no, we need to talk about this now. I said, no, I'm not in the right mindset for this. Can you please move? And I just kept asking, can you please move? Obviously, I'm not going to put hands on her and move her. That's not, I wouldn't do that ever. But I just didn't know what else to do, and she just kept pushing.
So you
pushing.
were then definitely in front of the door because you couldn't leave. So you
I
kind of
wasn't in front of the door intentionally.
Come on, Miss Rat.
When I got up and went around the couch,
come on,
I was there and I was pushing him because I was like, I'm trying to break up with you.
You're pushing him?
Not pushing him physically, but
you put hands on him?
No, not at all.
So you're blocking the door, and now you're kind of holding him or touching him.
I'm not holding or touching him at all.
Well, you're saying you're pushing.
I meant emotionally. I'm trying to tell him.
But he told you he doesn't. You're badgering him. He told you.
I'm not badgering him. I'm trying to break up with him, and he won't let me break up with him.
So then, the best way to break up with him is, okay, dude, walk out the door, man.
But I wanted closure, and I wanted to talk.
But he did not want to speak. So at that moment, what you need to do.
But he never wants to speak ever.
So is this how you were with him? So he couldn't get a word in edgewise, because I can't get a word in edgewise with you.
Well, go ahead.
Listen, thank you so much. That's so respectful of you. You see, I'm on your team. I'm a woman. I get it. I know exactly what you did. I read the book. I've been there before. And for you to deny knowing what you did, I already know what you did. You badgered him. You kept talking to him. You kept pushing him. You kept triggering him, triggering. Don't interrupt me. Triggering him, and you blocked the door. That would make anybody anxious or angry. I just know it. And listen, this is just a woman to woman. I understand, because the way you're acting right now, that's probably the way you acted in front of him. I am not condoning what he did, because violence is never the answer for anything. But if you really wanted to break up with him, all you had to do was open your door and let him walk out and slam the door, and that's it. End of story. He is out of your life.
I didn't want to end an 8-year relationship.
Well, yes, you did. You just told me you wanted to break up with him.
Not like
so. What
that,
is it? You want to break up with him, or you don't?
Discussion.
You want to either have the baby in your life, or you don't. So which is it?
If he could spend time with me and the son, that would be great. But she doesn't want me around the son either, so I can't spend time with him that way.
Wow. Okay. So then you punched the hole in the wall. Did she finally let you leave?
After I punched the hole in the wall, because she pushed me into my brink, she was just kind of in shock, and then she just opened the door, and she's like, get out of here. So I left, and I went home, and I slept on it, and then a day or two later, I tried to call her, now that I was calm, but she wasn't picking up my phone call. And I just kept calling, and finally, on the third day, she finally answered. She's like, "What?" And I told her I wanted to talk to her about what happened, and that's when she hit me that you're gonna pay for this wall.
Okay, all right. Sounds like you both deserved each other. Mr. Garcia, listen, you're a father now. You're gonna have to make tough decisions. You're gonna have to put on your big boy panties on and make decisions. You can't be pushed around. But the mere fact, being disrespectful to somebody, ignoring them, not calling them because you're under stress, maybe. But at one point, you're gonna have to face up. There's only so much she could take without communication from you. And having this drama between these two women, that's something that you created. Only you could have done it. But coming into her house, and I understand the situation, but punching a hole in the wall is just never the answer. I mean, you should be completely ashamed of yourself. Completely ashamed of yourself. I think you both are children trying to play grown-up. And I hope for your sake, you grow up fast, okay? Because your sons can't wait for you to hurry up and grow up and figure out when you're gonna be a man, because you've got to do that quickly. And you, Ms. Raddick, I already told you that you guys really need to go look at yourselves in the mirror and grow up. I mean, it's painful to listen to both of you talk. Painful. Painful, painful, painful. Based on the evidence, I find that you were both negligent and irresponsible and did not act reasonably. So, based on that evidence, I will deny your claim because you were both at fault equally. Good luck to you both.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Well, I hope you're happy.
You're just mad you're not the mom.
Coming up on Justice for All.
You didn't text him and let him know, hey, by the way, dude, it's fake?
It was his birthday. I didn't want to ruin...
You don't want to ruin it? How about the day after his birthday? Did you want to tell him?
I wanted him to have a exciting weekend.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Charles Peoples is suing Marty Ward in the amount of $2,500. Mr. Peoples claims his ex-friend gave him a winning lottery ticket, so he splurged on a birthday trip to Vegas and says he found upon his return that the ticket was a fake. So Mr. Ward needs to pay him back.
Okay, gentlemen, I understand you guys are big pranksters, huh?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, it was my birthday last year, and Marty, for my birthday, gave me a lottery ticket, a scratch off, and it said I'd won $2,500, and I was ecstatic. And it turned out to be fake, and that I didn't actually have any of that money. But he told me that after I'd already spent it. So suddenly I was out $2,500.
Gambled it, Your Honor.
It was my birthday weekend, Your Honor, and me and my friends, I just turned 21, my big day, and we went out that weekend to Vegas and had a lot of fun. Came home, turns out that I didn't actually have any of that money that I gambled.
So then what money did you use to gamble? Credit cards?
I used money that I already had in my savings account.
Oh.
But I knew I had enough money that I would be reimbursed.
So did you get the ticket and go to Vegas right away, or was it the day before you gave him the scratch-off ticket, Mr. Ward?
He went to Vegas immediately. So
immediately?
Yes. So it was his birthday.
So you're like, oh, here, happy birthday, Charles.
That same day, that same night.
And he left.
Yes. So I went to the library to study. We had midterms. I assumed he would be doing something similar. Unbeknownst to me, he gathered a group of friends and went to the Vegas Strip.
Okay, so I hear you guys have a history of these pranks that you guys do to each other?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were roommates for 4 years, started freshman year. This event occurred senior year. And so throughout that time frame, we developed a culture of pranking one another. Those pranks were harmless at the start. And then Charles thought it would be a great idea to, knowing that I was deathly allergic to spiders, to set up a trap with fake spiders in the dark, which caused me to run into a wall, chipping my tooth, costing me $1,200.
Wow. All right, that was a bad prank. All right, and did you sue him for the $1,200?
I didn't, because we were friends. And by not doing that then, I believe I've set a precedent for cases like now.
Coming up,
As soon as I get home, I talk to him. Oh, I'm devastated. I'm so tired from this weekend. he tells me, oh, that ticket was fake. You don't have any of that money. And I stormed out of the room.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Charles Peoples, who is suing Marty Ward for negligence.
But this was what you guys did to each other. Pranks, and some of them were harmless, some of them were not, clearly, because he got injured and you just gambled away $2,500, right?
Yeah.
Were those two the worst pranks that you did to each other?
Correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
In
okay.
terms of financial liability.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you realize he leaves to go to Las Vegas, or you had no idea, you just thought he went away, but when he didn't come home for the weekend, did you call him and say, where are you?
No, I didn't know over the weekend. Again, I was studying. I presumed he was off doing his own thing. Wasn't too worried about him. I thought next time I'd see him, I'd tell him about this fake lottery ticket.
You didn't text him and let him know, hey, by the way, dude, it's fake?
It was his birthday. I didn't want to ruin.
You don't want to ruin it. How about the day after his birthday? Did you want to tell him?
I wanted him to have a exciting weekend.
Okay, so you just didn't bother him at all. You're like, oh, he's probably out celebrating. I'm not going to tell him about the lottery ticket.
I thought the next time I'd see him in person.
Wow, that hurt.
Yeah, I fully agree, Your Honor. I came home defeated. I mean, I had lost all this money at $2,500. Sure, it wasn't responsible, but I, was out on my 21st birthday. I could finally get into a casino and gamble. And I came home thinking, okay, it's fine. I have money in my savings account. I'll mail off that ticket. It'll come back. And then he, as soon as I get home, I talk to him. Oh, I'm devastated. I'm so tired from this weekend. He tells me, oh, that ticket was fake. You don't have any of that money. And I stormed out of the room. I couldn't stay there that night. I had to stay with my girlfriend. I was just livid.
It was a prank.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
So now we have to look at what happened. So the intent was a prank, right?
Yes.
No ill will about it, because this is what you two are used to. This is what you guys normally do to each other, right? What happened was somebody actually going to go gamble and gamble money they didn't have. Stupidity is not something that can be awarded in court for damages. Prank's a prank, unless it crosses the line, right? Didn't cross the line this time.
I would argue that
Stupidity crossed the line, not the prank, all right? Good luck, gentlemen. So based on that, I will deny the plaintiff's claim in the amount of $2,500.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I'm glad the judge could see his irresponsibility, and I just hope he gets the help he needs.
Well, that $2,500 would have helped me get some help, but here we are.
Thank you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.